and you've got it tuned to EA Sports. Coming up, Ezekiel Elliott, fresh off 100 yards a week ago, as it'll be the Kansas City Chiefs as they get set to match up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. With that, we're off to Pittsburgh for the home opener. On the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club in its timeout, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Chiefs, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
So here come the Chiefs for their opening drive. It'll be the #1 pick from back in 2005, leading him onto the field. Their 14-year veteran out of Utah, it's Alex Smith.
I remember when Alex Smith came out of Utah, there were 2 things people really liked about his game. His wheels could get him out of trouble, and, of course, extend the play and throw the ball downfield. Second part, his ability to take care of the football. Didn't throw very many interceptions. How about 2017? The lowest interception rate of any qualifying quarterback in the NFL, just 5 interceptions all year long. But also coupled that with a quarterback rating of 104.7 that led the NFL and was his career high.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Nice play for Kansas City, picking up the first 18 yards that time.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still actively throws a nice pass for a first down.
Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. T.J. Watt in on the tackle.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Smith now to throw. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Even after more than a decade in the league, Smith still one to account for with his legs as he picks up a first.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that first down now. I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit. They'll try the air now with Smith. Looking deep for LaFell. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Pass interference. Defense.
So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. Here's the correct call.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Now the starting lineup here defensively for Pittsburgh. This unit currently 7th in the NFL, Charles, in stopping the run.
I jotted down in my notes in prepping for this game that this is definitely an area we got to keep an eye on, because you talk about where they rank in stopping the run.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
But enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
3rd and long, it's Smith, forced out to his left. He may try and run for this. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Now Justin Tucker's out to try the field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And the Chiefs are out to a 3-0 lead. So a nice opening drive on the road. You get the 3 points. Part of you wonders if that might hurt them later not getting into the end zone.
Well, the good thing is still first quarter, and they did come out of it with points. In a sense, they could look at positively and say, hey, we set the pace in this one. I think that's how they'll go about it.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Glover Quinn there on the stop. And a peek now at the offense for Pittsburgh.
Stephon Diggs had 8 touchdowns in the regular season. And then when it came to the postseason, a huge one in the playoffs that'll be remembered forever, especially in Minnesota. Also helped to actually overshadow what a really nice year he had. Can catch the ball underneath and also take the top off of a defense with his speed.
Again, it's Elliott. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Time for a look at the defensive starters for Kansas City. And this unit, very tough to throw against, currently 2nd best in the NFL.
And the easy thought process is that stopping the run is the least of their problems because they're facing the #1 passing team in the NFL. But if they don't stop...
Oh, and Lewis lost the football, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And they will finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense.
The previous play is under review. After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Cousins now after the fumble recovery. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. Numbers for Diggs from a week ago. Just a really crisp, clean effort. Well over 100 yards receiving.
But didn't you feel like he needed a hug when we talked with him this week?
Oh, because he wanted the touchdown.
He wanted the touchdown. He was all depressed after that performance. I'm like, what's wrong with you? You were brilliant. He's like, yeah, but I didn't get in the end zone. He must have heard from the fantasy players on that one.
Now a 2nd down throw for Cousins. And to the tight end, Olsen, right side. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. His first catch, good for 9 and a 1st down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another 1st down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
A first opportunity for the Steelers in the red zone. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. From the red zone now, Cousins. It's brought in right side by Ginn. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 5 at the 4. Here we go. They come out here in the eye. To the air again, it's Cousins. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Stephon Diggs, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead.
We see this route all the time, but when it's well executed, it's a beauty.
And it feels like the fade takes forever to develop, like that ball is just hanging in the air.
And the reason why is that the receiver is trying his best to work the defender inside and give himself space to fade away from him and catch the football, and that's exactly what happened there.
And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And now here comes Kansas City. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking...
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
On second down, it's Bell. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Benny Logan in there on the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. They'll roll him out right. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
And they're on the move as they face a second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll go back to the ground with Bell. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he's going to get it down to the 14-yard line. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another first down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Let's go. Let's go, 15.
They'll go again with Bell. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
On. Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And that is incomplete. Quandre Diggs there defensively.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it's going to be third down and a ways to go here, 3rd and 14. From the gun, here's Cousins. It's caught, Jones. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Cousins going to come up on a 1st and 10, and he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. A first down carry by Elliott. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
They go to Elliott again. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Stopped by Glover Quinn.
Glover Quinn came into the NFL as a cornerback, but he's morphed into one of the better safeties in the league, and he just finished this one off with that nice pick.
The Chiefs in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Smith. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that, but if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position you have to be, you just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times. And what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. And now here comes Kansas City. The last couple of drives have ended in punts. Maybe the crowd minds that, but you're a defensive guy. You're okay with a couple of punt drives.
Listen, I'm the guy that loves a 0-0 pitch game. All right, in baseball, I can handle that going into the 7th inning. I think the crowd, though, they want to see a little bit more excitement. Let's see if someone can break something free on offense and get going.
Offense at a premium the last 2 drives.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when he clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle it. That's what you're looking for.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. He finds his man, Baldwin. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. To throw on 2nd down is Smith, going for the deep ball, and he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
And this time they're able to bottle him up as they'll stop him at the line of scrimmage. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Here's Smith now on 2nd down. Steps away to his left. He's to the 10. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another first down.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Now Smith escaping the pressure right. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me.
And that's caught. It's Kelsey. Touchdown, Kansas City. Travis Kelsey, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Chiefs are in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Marty looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
Check Mike 99. No, right. Yellow.
They'll try and run it in with Bell. And he is not going to make it to the goal line. So the defense holds, and this remains a 5-point game. So the defense gets the stop. I know it's situation to situation, but who has more pressure there, offense or defense, when they go for 2?
I truly believe it's the defense has more pressure because the offense has an entire playbook wide open from the 2-yard line. You can run it, you can throw it. So defensively, I think most teams are going to be aggressive and force the issue and try and bring pressure.
And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding. Offense.
Well, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Hey, 382, last 50.
Cousins now to throw on first down. He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. Now Blair Walsh on for a long field goal. He's hit from as far away as 56 in his young career. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
The final shot here before break. Smith is going to let this thing go deep for LaFell. And all intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Chiefs on top as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll start with a little East versus West in the AFC, and it's the LA Chargers heading east to take on Buffalo. And it's the Bills with the lead in the second quarter. Torrey Smith, a touchdown reception. From there, we'll head to Washington. Check out the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Indianapolis Colts. Allen Robinson, a touchdown reception. Finally, we're out to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And that one all even as they play the visiting Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Get a little closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
On the counter, Elliott. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. And this is going to be incomplete. The veteran Morgan Burnett there on the coverage.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Good open field tackling there, a 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And the Chiefs are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10.
On.
Smith and the Chiefs now with a 1st and 10 at their own 16.
Let's go. Gun. Check. 3 down.
They'll start out on the ground with Bell. They'll rumble for about 6 up across the 20 to the 22.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
Hank's almost going to get into QB 1-0 when he gets to the sideline. Already thrown an interception. That one should have been picked. Look, let's just be honest about it. That'd be the second person in his ear because he's hearing it in the huddle right now.
Not the start to the game he wanted. Like you said, the pick on the opening drive, second drive, not much better. The quick slant, good for a 1st down, a gain of 12.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
A give to Bell. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And it'll take you back to the action in the 3rd quarter.
On. Great 15.
On 1st and 10, Smith. It's caught. Baldwin. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another 1st down.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a 1st down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
And it's complete to Kelsey. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another first down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. They control the clock, they control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Great 15.
And that'll set him back 5.
Hey, on.
Smith now looking to throw on second down. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A good pickup there at 22.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route, it's extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. They come up in an offset eye. They'll try and run it in with Bell. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
Not only was that a terrific play, but that loss of yardage they created this close to their own goal line, that gives them a little breathing room now as they move them back.
And they're breathing fire a little bit right now, aren't they?
A lot of confidence being shown.
And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. Alex Smith with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
A good pickup there at 22.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Here's Cousins. Caught on the right side by Jones. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42.
Well, that wasn't exactly a work of art, was it?
No, that wasn't a thing of beauty. That's just why I don't play in points per reception fantasy league.
Is that what they call
the receiver
PPR?
still gets a point there. Yeah.
No.
And you went that far back. No bueno.
Well, I'll tell you what. I wish I had their defense on my fantasy game.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief now. That's caught at the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. And that goes as a gain of 37 on third down.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
That throw good for 4. It's second down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Cousins again.
And that'll be incomplete. A solid pass breakup that time by Joe Hayden.
Good to see him out there on the field, moving around, playing well. Joe Hayden, if you talk to the NFL guys, when you list the best corners in the game, Joe Hayden's name always comes up for reasons we just saw, just like that.
And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a 1st down.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. One man in the backfield. That's Elliott on 2nd and goal.
Black.
They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And the avenue collapsed for him as he's going to be held up short of the goal line. They're held again, and do we have a goal line stand brewing? It's 3rd and goal. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? 3rd and goal for Cousins. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good. And that lead is back down to 9 now. So he missed his first attempt, remember, but this time he gets back on the bike and knocks it home.
Yeah, and sometimes that first one can really impact you moving forward. It can just stay with you too long and affect everything else you do during the game. In this case, though, able to shake it off. He's riding high again.
Smith and the Chiefs now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. My music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. From the gun on 3rd down, Smith. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. The Chiefs going for it on 4th. It's Smith. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Andy Reid went for it, but it won't pan out. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. And I am not sure, partner, there what the mindset was to go for it. I don't know.
And some teams just feel that possession is the key to everything. They just want to have the football in their hands. No matter how it goes to the other team, they just don't trust doing that. So they say, listen, go for it and try and finish it ourselves.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. He's now just 3 yards shy of 197 yards receiving on the contest and a first down. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
They'll try again with Elliott. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Ezekiel Elliott, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Steelers have now made this a one-score game.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. To throw on second down, Smith. And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground. His favorite target, Travis Kelce, the intended receiver. And it's third down.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
He may try and run for this. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now fourth down.
That was a good effort there trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try.
Hey, on.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And that'll make it third down.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
On third down, Cousins. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll bring up fourth down. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This for a fourth quarter lead. And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good. And with that, they have taken the lead by a point here in the fourth. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Now a first down throw. It's Smith. It's Kelsey on the ground. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
Looking to throw on second down. Smith, complete, the tight end Kelsey. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
On first down, it's Smith. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Flushed out right, and he floated one out there incomplete. He was trying to get it there to Vernon Davis, the tight end. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And it's 3rd down. And the blitz does come. Baldwin with it over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Bell. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20.
On.
They'll look to throw. The quick slant caught. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Doug Baldwin, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs have taken the lead here in the 4th. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Tried to roll out, make a play outside of the pocket, but couldn't get it done.
When you don't have a lot of space for your receivers to operate, and down there is really condensed when you're snapping the ball from the 2-yard line, Rolling out, you extend a play, but you don't necessarily open up better avenues for people. And on that play, there's just nowhere to go with the ball, and you end up getting sacked.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Drops it underneath to Elliott. Call it a gain of 3. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And Olsen over the middle. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. He's back to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. A good pickup there at 22. Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's the 2014 NFL interception leader, Glover Quinn. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35. So that right there was his 2nd pick, but keep in mind, this is a guy who once had a rare 3-interception game in his career.
So what are you saying, that getting 2 in a game, that's like kid stuff for him? That's nothing. He's already
Amateur
done that,
hour.
right? Been there, done that. You know he wants a 3rd again.
Smith going to throw it. He hits Baldwin right side. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. Smith now to throw. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Let's go. Let's go. 15.
Now it's Smith. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Now Smith. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Travis Carey. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. You got the slim lead late and the football, so why are you throwing it there?
Remember during the year when we asked one of the head coaches, if you're in this spot, why would you throw the ball? And he talked about trust in his quarterback and trust in his offense.
But still.
And then at the end he kind of went, yeah, not really a good reason.
Right. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the Alabama man, Dre Kirkpatrick.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
Throwing now, Smith. And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it. Really a great game that we just saw, Charles. Interesting ending, that's for sure. You don't usually see a fumble on the final play of the game, but they were just trying to do whatever they could to get in the end zone. They coughed it up.
I think you're exactly right on that. You do what you have to do to try and win the game. They gave it a shot. You're exactly right about a fumble, then finishing the game, getting the recovery. Wow, a strange ending, but a heck of a game overall.
So for Kansas City, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they'll return home next week to take on the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL Audio.